I'd like for you to think about the people, things, and ideas that have to come together as a system to actually fulfill the thing from when customers trigger your demand to the time you actually get money in the bank. And at Aveus, we call that a performance chain. On your name tags, we've actually have assigned you an animal today. In this case, the animals represent kind of the people, things, and ideas that actually have to happen in order to fulfill your performance chain. Then take a look at your animal name. Now, I got aardvark, okay? You have to not only spell it properly, but we have to be able to read it. At the beginning of each row, you now have a colored stack in front of you. That is your raw material. Write the animal on your name tag onto the card. So by now you've probably looked at it, it's like, oh my gosh, Wolverine. Okay, I can do that. Pass the card to your left. If there's more than one card waiting, place it at the bottom of the stack. Keep working off the top. And then finally, I think in 7 minutes we will have made our point. Treat it like any other card. It just allows us to pull some data off so we can tell another very specific story of the simulation. And then finally, I think in 7 minutes we will have made our point.
We're ready to go? Go!
How we doing? Keep it going. Keep it going. Performance chains are a marathon. I see some inventory growing, though. I see a grizzly bear that's getting behind. I see our bats don't have much to do. Look at this row. Just ship, ship, ship. Time and stop. No more shipments will be allowed. Raise your hand if you had no inventory when we stopped. How many people had more than one piece of inventory? Raise your hand. Okay, we've got some things to work on then, right? How did that feel? You became part of a system. Did you know how well you were performing?
I had no idea what was happening further up the path. And in my business, I deal with a very similar situation. We have offices in 3 different countries, and I see what my product managers and my technical managers are doing. They each manage teams of creative staff and engineers. And most of the time, I don't have visibility as to what's going on there.
Exactly.
And I don't know if there's a problem down the supply chain until it comes to the guy right next to me.
I think that what we do reinforces the business we're in today, but how we do it pulls us into new business. So we get asked to do things that we aren't necessarily doing today because of how we do business.
We set you up today with animals, and Sue told us that our performance chains were more often than not kind of a zoo. But that we set you up in a way that said, we all just presumed that we were competing businesses producing animals. We know we've got a really good baseline of measure of how fit the performance chain is. We know that we can look at speed and predictability, and actually when we measure fitness in performance chains, we actually look at 2 other things. We look at flexibility, how nimble is the performance chain, and we look at leverage of are you getting the most from the people and the capital resources within your performance chain. As leaders of the performance chain, where would you invest to make the performance chain better? We can't really know that unless we understand more about the customer. Every customer experience starts with a person who's got a problem or a need or a desire that they'd trade something of value, typically it's money, to have solved.
When you talk about finding money that's trapped in the performance chain, that always feels like a bad thing, right? Finding money means I'm cutting my budget, or I'm going to have to lay off staff or do some reduction. It never sounds like a positive thing. It's a trade-off. And so the magic of this is it is finding money in the performance chain or in your business at the same time that you're strengthening your customer experience. One is it all starts with the problem that you're solving. Customer experience actually drives demand. 2 is that leaders who make choices about how to align their performance chain to that targeted customer need will always improve their performance. And then 3 is that the financial performance kind of comes out of those choices. You can actually improve financial outcomes while strengthening the customer experience.